I just sit in this chair at your funeral.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
We always love this chair.
Now for our feature presentation.
Have fun editing that part to make sense.
I'm going to just keep it how it is.
Put it in a blender.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. I don't know if you can tell, but we've moved from Halloween to Christmas. I also don't know if you can tell, but I'm sick, so I'm going to sound terrible, at least for the next few episodes. I apologize in advance. I'm going to be drinking water, going to be coughing. Try to keep it to a minimum, though. On today's episode, we have the 1988 classic Christmas movie, Die Hard. Our shout out for today's episode goes to Lori. Good job, Lori.
Go Aunt Lori!
Tyson,
Yo.
who was in this movie?
Several people. This is directed by John McTiernan, who's done some other things. I didn't write any of them down. But it stars Bruce Willis as the hero, so to speak, of the movie. And it also stars Bonnie Bedelia, Alan Rickman. It's got Paul Gleason, William Atherton, a couple of the people.
It was my first time watching this movie. It was pretty good.
It's a classic action movie. I enjoy it.
I would have to see You're Pretty Good and raise it. We've watched quite a few 80s movies, like more than I expected us to watch this early on. This is hands down the best 80s movie I have ever seen. It's so much better than every other 80s movie I've ever watched.
Felt like
I didn't want to hurt myself even once during watching this movie. Not even once.
I feel like there was a lot of hype with this movie because I've never seen it and everybody talks about like the Die Hards and everybody's like in love with them, and I was wondering if it would live up, but it absolutely does.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
The love is warranted.
Yes, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun time.
Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis, is the story of a New York City police officer who comes out to see his family for Christmas, and he just happens to be at his wife's work when a terrorist robbery situation comes to pass, and he has to, cowboy up and cowboy the whole situation. It's a lot of cowboying, and I respect that. Why don't you talk about the plot a little bit, Tyson? I'm not doing very good.
You pretty much covered it. New York cop comes to California to see his estranged wife. Goes to her work to join her Christmas party, which is then held up and robbed by a group of sophisticated and motivated terrorists who are after the vast amounts of money that are in the vaults in the building.
Led by a young Severus Snape.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of action ensues. Gunfights, fistfights.
Some classic lines.
Some banter.
Some great dialoguing.
Mm-hmm.
Good detectivizing.
Some serious detectivizing. There was a continuity error with the cop. The cop.
Mm-hmm.
Al.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He had a cut on his forehead. The police medic came out and dabbed it with some paper towels, and those were magic paper towels because the cut was gone forever.
Yep. He was
True.
completely clean after that. There was no damage to him. He was messed up when he got out of the car.
Yep. Not good.
Along with the policeman, you were talking about how, like, he was a desk jockey, but then he also had a patrol car and was out on patrol.
Yeah, I'm obviously not a police officer. Not to give you guys too much information about me so early on in our budding relationship, but I am not a police officer. So I don't know the ins and outs of if a desk jockey would be out and about getting sent on calls and things like that. But my assumption would be the desk jockey who can't shoot his gun would not be sent out on a call.
Yeah.
If there's trouble afoot, don't send the guy that can't shoot a gun. And who knows all the ingredients of Twinkies. Like, no shade, but shade. I don't want the cop that knows all the ingredients in Twinkies.
It was kind of confusing. They were just like, oh yeah, I don't do, like, ground police work anymore, but here I am.
Out and about in my car cop.
Doing patrol, but yeah.
I thought that was weird. So I think before we move on to the budget, we should probably address the elephant in the room. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? We watched it. We didn't just watch it for Christmas. We watched it first for Christmas. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Not only is it a Christmas movie, it's the best Christmas movie.
I would call it a Christmas movie.
Would you call it the best Christmas movie?
I would.
I'll
answer for her.
We heard
I'll
heard from you. Would you call it?
Yes.
I think we might have to decide after we watch more Christmas movies, maybe after the Christmas season.
I've seen every Christmas movie ever made. This is the best Christmas movie.
I just don't want to give it out like the best too early. I mean, there's a lot more Christmas movies we haven't watched yet.
I mean, it's unfortunate that this is the case, but we did watch the best Christmas movie first.
Do you think it's a Christmas movie?
Tyson, how much does this movie make? What was the budget?
Do what?
How much did this movie make? What was the budget?
Don't judge the question. Do you think this is a Christmas movie?
I do have written down obvious Christmas movie is obvious. I mean, it's fucking Christmas Eve. You see Santa Claus. They say ho ho ho. They get the gift of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously Christmas.
They listen to some fine Christmas music.
Damn right.
So the budget was around $28 million. It ended up grossing $83 million. However, it made a measly $600,000 on the opening weekend. It did end up making money though, a lot of money.
Yeah, it was the 7th highest grossing domestic movie of the year. It was 3rd highest rated R of the year, and it was 8th worldwide. Big action movies always do really well overseas, it seems. At least in today's film climates. I don't know what it was like in the 80s, obviously, but these are always the movies that do really well worldwide. The difference is that this movie's good and those movies are shit, but it's the same thing. What's your favorite scene, Carly?
My favorite scene is, I think, when Alan Rickman was using his great American accent and was just, like, pulling stuff out of his ass that was, like, covering him. Like, with the name Clay, that was an actual name on the board of people. So he was, like, covering himself, making it not obvious who he was, but, you know, not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote that scene in because they thought that having John McClane meet Hans before the end would be kind of a cool dramatic twist, and they wrote it in because they thought that Alan Rickman does such a great job doing American accents. I disagree. I thought his American accent was as good as my English accent, which isn't. Tyson, what was your favorite scene?
I don't know, probably when they kill Ellis. He's on the walkie-talkie
Yes.
with John McClane,
Yes.
and he's trying to get him to give himself up. But, you know, it's John McClane. That shit ain't gonna go down. No.
Mm-hmm.
So they shoot Ellis in his stupid face.
Who got himself into that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Hans, Bubby.
Oh my god, I hated him so much.
Yeah, there was definitely a rewarding scene. Like, I mean, you don't generally root for someone's death, but in this case, I was definitely rooting for his death. Like, It's a Rolex. No one gives a fuck, dude. I'm glad you're gonna get shot in the
It's
face.
a Rolex.
Like the worst person ever.
What was your favorite scene, Jackson?
It's really hard to say, you know. Such a good movie like this. There's a lot of good scenes. I think after he's killed the first terrorist, he's talking about how small his feet are and like just kind of giving him shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of entertaining. The roof scene, maybe. After he's killed that first terrorist and he's being chased around by the other group.
And the brother.
Yeah. That one actually gave me a little bit of anxiety, but I thought that was kind of cool. Running around up on a roof, definitely going to die. And then he didn't die. It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
One of those two probably stood out to be the most. But yeah, there was definitely a lot to like in this movie.
He has great escape tactics. He likes to dangle off of ledges a lot.
Well, I mean, not to be crass, but when you're when your nuts are that big, and this isn't about men or women, like up here mentally.
But your mental balls.
Yeah, when your mental balls are that big,
Doesn't
do whatever
matter.
you want. Yeah, you could literally do whatever you want. He's a fucking psychopath.
It's true.
Absolute psychopath.
I mean, it may be hard for him to walk, but he'll kick your ass.
With his fucking hobbit feet. Tyson, what would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
8 out of 10, and I would recommend it.
Carly, what would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend it as a Christmas movie.
8 out of 10, definitely would recommend you, and you definitely should watch it around Christmas time.
It's festive.
I mean, it was Christmas. Yeah, there was Santa Claus in the. Don't be a dick. Santa Claus was in the movie. Just, it's a Christmas movie.
Say ho ho ho. I mean,
Yeah, don't be a dick. It's a Christmas movie.
people were hooking up at the party. If that doesn't scream Christmas, especially family friendly Christmas, I don't know what to tell you.
Fun facts. We got some facts and they're fun.
Fun facts. They're facts and they're fun.
Yeah.
So, there's a part in the movie where they're talking to a hostage specialist, and he says Helsinki syndrome instead of Stockholm syndrome. I spent 20 minutes while watching this movie. I missed a good portion. Like, I was only half paying attention to the movie. I did myself a disservice trying to figure out why they said Helsinki syndrome instead of Stockholm syndrome. You know what I found? Nothing. I was very upset. I couldn't find anything about Stockholm syndrome being like a copyright protected term. I couldn't find, which wouldn't even make sense. It's a fucking medical diagnosis. Leave me alone. I couldn't find anything, and I was really upset. So if someone knows why they said Helsinki syndrome instead of Stockholm syndrome, please tell me in the comments, because it's gonna ruin my life if I don't figure it out. And I know that no one wants my life to be ruined. So like, help me out. Help me out here, guys. Yeah. Nakatomi Tower is the actual Fox HQ, and they charge themselves rent for using it.
Idiots.
Why?
It allows them to like
Write it off?
write it off. They found Alan Rickman how to play. They is obviously the director and the producer. I should explain myself. Alan Rickman was playing the villain in Dangerous Liaisons. And they were so moved by his performance, they asked him to be Hans in Die Hard.
So was this Alan Rickman's first movie?
Yes. It was his first Hollywood movie. He was doing stage and British television before. It was his first Hollywood movie.
This is his cinematic debut?
Yes.
Beautiful.
And finally, there was a lot of worry in the viewing of this movie. Bruce Willis running around barefoot, stepping on glass, and stepping on more glass. I just want to put everyone at ease. He had special rubber foot shoes made to look like feet. Bruce Willis was not actually stepping on glass. Everything was fine. If you go back and watch the movie, you'll notice he had big-ass hobbit feet. It's all going to be okay. That's all I've got. Next week, we are going to be watching Soon to Cluse.
Popo Gijo.
That's right. Tim Allen's Santa Claus will be our next movie for Christmas times. Thanks for watching. As always, remember to like, subscribe, comment what movies you want us to do, hit the bell notification. If you want a chance to be... let's try that again. If you want a chance to get a shout out on the podcast, follow us on our social medias at jecll Studios, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we post pictures of the movies. First person to guess the movie gets a shout out on the podcast. So follow us there. Check out the content. We're going to be getting back into the gaming stuff, Tyson and I, real soon. We're just a little bit behind right now. Yeah, I think that's everything. You know, the YouTube stuff. Do the YouTube stuff if you were feeling this, even if you weren't. You know, we appreciate the love and the stuff.
The support. We're getting there on the subscribers. Remember, 100 subscribers. We do a dog reveal.
Yeah, that's right. I honestly forgot. We're at like 69 subscribers, something like that. Nice. If we get to 100, we will reveal one of our dogs, which is real special because we don't let the dogs in the studio because they're hairy.
Animal.
They're the worst, and we love them. If we get to 100 subscribers, you can see our dogs.
Dog. One.
One of our dogs. One. We've already decided which one. Thanks for watching, and as always, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. There's a bug in here.
Kill it.
I can't.
Do better jobs at killing it.
This is why we own a cat and a Loki.
But they're not allowed in this room.
But the bugs didn't get the memo that there's no animals allowed in the room.
That's true. You trespassers.